You know I'm checking in live. We gotta see what it do. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You know I'm checking in live. I gotta see what it do. Y'all, I got my mic, and y'all know I am a one woman revolution. I'm a one woman, show. So I'm sitting here behind the scenes trying to make sure that everything is set up. So while we do this, I'm like, grab your snacks, whatever the case may be, whatever you need. I'm like, if you can hear me, I'm like, let me know in the chat. It's 3 2 1. So I'm like, hopefully I can get this thing going because I had a live earlier today, and I definitely want to come back for a talk topic. But again, I'm a one woman revolution, so it just always seems like it's a struggle to get things done. Like I said, I hope y'all can hear me, but y'all, I gotta be the on screen, the behind the scenes, the everything. And right now I'm getting hot and bothered because like what's taking so long for my live to even show up? So I can even see what's going on. Y'all gotta hold on cause okay, so if you respond in the chat, I feel like y'all can hear me. I'm like, if we are getting some communicator, then we must be in some type of communication. I'm like, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Okay, so good. We got a mic check going. That means we good. We're gonna go ahead and hop to it. Like it says in the chat, y'all know it's me. You know it's KD, but it's also time. We had us a day of sorts where we are just picking up the pieces. And now I want to bring to y'all a talk topic discussion because I'm definitely going to, make them eat most talkative class of 2010 up. So yeah, I'm back because I'm like, we're gonna start a new series on this channel and it is called Unspoken Rules. I'm starting it out this way because I want to do social experiments, social experiences on my channel, which y'all should see coming soon because I'm definitely channeling a lot of my energy into my art, that being my digital spaces, my creative space, whatever the case may be. But yes, it's time to get our social because we are in the social club, SOULCIAL. That is our social club because we do things from our soul. And we're also going to do some social experiences, social experiments out in the world. But I definitely want to bring the talk topics first and the unspoken rules. That way we just kind of have our topics and then we just kind of like go from there. Whether it's me kind of chopping it up with y'all, y'all know y'all are my favorite co-hosts in the comments, so y'all can definitely chop it up in the comments with me. But I figured, like I said, we start here with unspoken rules. We'll start with the topic, and then we'll take it outside to the real world and do like social experiments, social experiences, all that kind of good stuff, just to kind of like weigh in on each other, do different things over here, really take our content and our creativity to where it needs to be. So today's talk topic for unspoken rules is I want to know some unspoken rules that you may know, some unspoken rules that you may have for yourself, for others, whatever the case may be, when you are an adult that is living at home. That is one of my biggest hurdles in life right now, especially because we are in this unspoken Great Depression. That's another thing that's unspoken right now is why are we not really calling this what this is? It's way too many people that are literally out here high functioning depression, manic depression, different clinical depressions. Like it's so many different types of depression that exist. It's wild. They need to go ahead and label this what this is and turn these prices down. Go ahead and make, the one bedroom studio apartments $650 again. Cause a studio bedroom apartment being $650 is insane. Y'all are really paying $5,200 to live in New York and California. And these are apartments. These aren't even houses. It's insane out here, in my personal opinion, and I state my opinion where it matters, my platform. So again, welcome to the platform. It's me, KD, but when it's time, I am time. So it's that summertime. I don't want to hear anything time. No, me, KD. I'm on a different type of time because time waits for no man, and literally, yeah, that's what time it is. So let's also roll into the unspoken rules of living at home when you're an adult, because one thing that I have noticed is you'll be treated like an adult until it's convenient for your parents. So it's like you'll be an adult when they want you to be, but you'll also be a child when they want you to be. Like, you're expected to respect their rules, but the same respect is not given to you, whether it be your boundaries. Like, I even know certain people, I'm not even gonna say certain people, because this is something that I have to deal with myself, and just being honest. Mothers have a horrible habit of barging in your room. It does not matter how old you are, what you got going on. Like, they may do a little knock or two, but they got that, and they coming on up in there, and it's just like, babe, like, I don't want to be bothered right now. That's why the door was closed. If I wanted to be inviting, I would be in the common areas. But I came to this one place of solitude in the house that's not even of solitude, and you bring your energy here for what reason? But just again, for what reason? You'll literally be treated like a child from your parent until it's time to cook, clean, or contribute. They will treat you like a child the whole time you live with them until it's time to cook, clean, or contribute. In my personal situation, I try to keep things as separate as possible because I know that I'm just an individual living in a shared space. And again, my living situation is different. My mother has one child. I have a whole little separate side of the house. That's just kind of like my thing where I'm at right now. I do my own little thing, and that's just a situation that we have worked out. But again, it's just like you're treated like the child until it's time to cook, clean, or contribute. Because, like, there it's just like, no, you need to step up, or you need to do something. Y'all saw in my live earlier, a lot of the stuff that goes on in this house literally has nothing to do with me because I keep my stuff in my room. So having to clean up shared spaces is just like kind of off-putting to me, especially when the other people that live in the shared space and make the mess don't clean up after themselves, and then you as the adult have to clean up someone else's mess. That's another, unspoken rule that you have to deal with in child just living at home with your parents, and stuff like that kind of makes you, question your independence. Like, when you go back home, it's just like everyone wants to know why you're there. Like, and it's just like, well, when you gonna move back out? When you gonna, like, trust me, if the prices were turned down, I would not be here. Again, I'm also a single individual, so it's not like I'm having a kid that I have to put a roof over. If anything, I just gotta, make sure that my shelter is good. But in my situation, living in a box is just like, I personally wouldn't care, but I grew up with performative parents, so for them that would be an issue. If y'all hear this rain outside, I feel like the rain is like literally taking over my life. And I'm really out here using my mic, which is so wild. But I also need it to rain down on me. So there's that. Okay. So yeah, because I'm like, the rain is also kind of it's kind of making me lose my train of thought because it's so loud in my real environment. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can open up the door so y'all can hear what outside sounds like if the mic picks it up. Opening the door did absolutely nothing because as it's hitting the roof, it's just insanely loud on my end. Like I said, kind of making me lose my train of thought, which is another thing, an unspoken, rule when you're an adult living with your parents. Like I said, I got my studio space, which is my, own little side of the house. But I'm just like, this, like, certain conversations, it's just like I want people and living in shared spaces, I want them to have their freedom and not have to, like, listen to me or anything like that. But this god doggone rain is so kato mate loud, it's almost making me mad. Like, I needed the rain because, yes, Lord, rain down on me. But at the same time, I'm trying to run my show. Because the next thing that I wanted to go to is how an unspoken rule of living at home as an adult is how you can't make noise at a certain amount of times. Like, right now, I try to keep my content and stuff away from everybody, especially when I start talking about people, because, I talk about me on my own channel. I talk about me like, girl, you need to get it together. So when I'm talking about other people and they need to get it together situations, it'd be a little difficult. Like you saw on the live yesterday, I started talking about people about stuff that I think we have gotten past, even though it's the fact of the matter, but it still be hitting people and rubbing people the wrong way. My God, the rain is on. The heat is on in Florida. The rain is on in Florida. Jesus, be with us. But yeah, being an adult and not trying to make too much noise in someone's home because you're living in shared spaces is literally another unspoken rule that I literally would cower down a lot to. And that's why I'm like, I had to find my own space, make my own. Once I found it, they definitely did help me make it. It was like, great, get this crap, boom, you got it in a certain area. You got your little film studio, do what you need to do. Because I like just talking. Like I said, that's, I'm going to make them eat. Most talkative class of 2010 up. I am most talkative. I am most dramatic. I am biggest ego. PSAS class of 2010, baby. One. Okay? So that's just who I am. So me being chatty, being talkative, especially on the internet, is something that is very normal for me, especially live streaming. But living in shared spaces, I can't even just live stream. Like some days, honestly, I want a 24-hour live stream to where it's just like a desktop or whatever the camera is, whatever it is, just a 24-hour live stream so I can come chat to it when I want to. It's just little things like that that I'm working towards that I can't wait to actually get to. Because yes, especially when you feel like, at a certain time at night, when you want to go to like the microwave, get like 3 a.m. Honestly, when I wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, even 5 o'clock in the morning, I want water. A lot of people are still sleeping, and then just opening up like, a refrigerator, or just doing certain things in common areas that will wake other people up. Honestly, it wakes the people up here because they don't sleep with their door closed. Because I sleep with my door closed and I don't hear anything. But for whatever reason, well, I do know a reason that I ain't gonna disclose on this. It's not even what y'all think at all. But I'm just saying, one person don't even have no door on their room because they punched it off. Simple as that. And didn't put a new door on. Actually, the door is literally outside of the room. Like, bought a new door, but didn't put it on the hinges like the old door was. Which is another, not here for that topic, but that is something about like new age men. Because it's like, once you punch the wall, you're supposed to dry patch it up. Not just by the whatever the dry patch stuff is and just look at it. Like, patch it up. What is going on? Y'all can't just punch stuff and then like halfway fix it. But that's what men do. But again, that's not what we're here to talk about today, because we talked about that earlier. We talked about that yesterday. And trust me, we have more time to talk about it. But as of right now, the next thing that I want to talk about is how, like I said, just in my case, like how the kitchen becomes a battlefield. You'll have to fight for the kitchen or the time, or, you'll end up cleaning up stuff that's not even yours. You end up cleaning other people's mess. Like, it doesn't matter if it's yours or theirs. You're still expected to pitch in like you are a child or teenager, with no matter what anyone says. Like I said, for me, it was just like, well, you need to get back on your cleaning. You need to get back on your cleaning schedule. And it's just like, well, what the fuck does your cleaning schedule look like? Because it seems like I'm the only one cleaning around this. And it's, y'all, spoiler alert, it's dirty again. Y'all saw where I cleaned up that house on live. I mean, like I said, I got tired of washing the dishes after like an hour and a half. It was just like, that was like the third, fourth cleaning that we had already did. But again, it's just like stuff everywhere. Like, y'all saw how I cleaned out that table. It was empty. Stuff right back on the table. Like, it's very disrespectful for you to sit there and harass me about cleaning, but you never keep anything clean. And I never say anything about it unless you listen to this YouTube channel, and that's your business for being in my business. But don't skip no ads. Because get this together, like, for real. Like I said on the live, it's just like, how can you harass people like, I shouldn't have to live this way? Me neither. I shouldn't be cleaning up this house and then it's right back dirty. Like, asking me, like, where's my stuff at? I really want to start throwing all that stuff in the trash. Because, like I said, it just seems like you have no care in the world for it. Talking about where's my stuff that I was taking to the laundromat or whatever it is, dry cleaners. Well, it's not at the fucking dry cleaners. Why are you asking me for it? Like, look for it. Just look. Why you coming to ask me where your stuff is? That's why I don't like cleaning up after nobody. Because why do you think that you should come to me like I'm a housewife, maid, whatever the case is? Because I'm not none of that. Again, I'm just a stepchild that is literally surviving, struggling, clawing my way out, tooth and nail. Okay? Listen, I'm on the edge, and that's why when I tell y'all, y'all might see me literally at least live 2 to 3 times a day. I don't really know how much, energy I have in me mustered up. But like I said, just doing my, unspoken rules content, doing my live content, doing just whatever the case may be, I'm really in the mood of channeling all of this dysfunction into creative content, because that's literally what it is. Like, I come from literally I'm not going to say one of the most dysfunctional families, because I'm sure it's worse. hopefully, because I'm like, we can't be the worst, but it's just dysfunctional. And I'm just like, whatever we got to do to channel this energy to get out of this dysfunction is what we'll do. Okay, like, yeah. Another reason, unspoken rule, is like you literally get treated like the help. Like I said, you are literally an adult until you need to be in the child's place. Like, they will literally, whether, like I said, cooking, cleaning, running errands, you'll be at home, and then they feel like you need to, help up with the workload. Oh, go do this for me, go do that for me. Like, baby, like right now, I'm trying to run my life. For whatever reason, it's not even for whatever reason. It's because this life right here is not making me millions of dollars. People feel like, oh, you need to be doing something else. No, just like the comment says, you got to keep streaming. You got to keep striving. Like, you just can't stop. It just doesn't work like that, because that's what they want me to do, to be stopped and financially strapped to them and literally get me nowhere in life. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm realizing like a lot of black parents, in majority for sure, have a slave to master mentality on how they treat their kids. And I'm just like, y'all don't even operate from a most high standpoint and saying, I'm going to do things that are morally right for my child, morally right for my life. Like, y'all be thinking about a societal point of view, especially, them boomer babies and exes and all of that literally MK Ultra brainwash, all that other kind of stuff. And it's just like, you can like not be serious, which takes me to my next talk point, is that your growth will be met with passive aggressive comments. Like, you will outgrow your home, you will outgrow that room, but it's like your finances will keep you strapped there, and it will leave you to the version that they're comfortable of and won't let go of, like, especially if it's you as a child, as a teenager, whatever the case may be. But you're like, I am a growing adult. It's unfortunate that I have to be in a situation and circumstance of, me being here in a sheltered since, like I said, child, I don't really ask them for anything other than shelter. Like, if I eat, I eat. If I have the money to eat, I eat. If I don't have the money to eat, well, the Lord will provide and I get a meal tomorrow, the next day. Like, child, it's been days. Well, like I said, last year didn't eat 2-3 days, but when God lets something come through and I get a little something, I do a little something, somebody bless me with something, then it's like, all right, great. But like, I'm talking about, like I said, I literally just for shelter, because like, why would I go live in a box when my parents have one child? It's just like, just go live there and find your way out of it. Like, simple as that. Another unspoken rule when you are an adult and you're living at home is that you'll hear the word respect a lot, but you'll see little to none of it. You will expect to respect, but you'll quickly learn that it's a one-way street. They do not respect you if they didn't respect you in your childhood, they definitely not going to respect you in your adulthood when you're still financially strapped to them for shelter. It is definitely disrespectful. Like, I almost said something about somebody that probably didn't need to be said. But hold on, y'all, because my door swang open and I need to. Here we go again. Y'all hear this rain? Like, sounded like Jesus want to make a return. I do thank you for your patience, because I'm like, it just seems like every time I try, but I'm going to keep trying, because I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And I'm on a mic, and it's like giving ASMR. Like, it's wild. At this point, y'all, ASMR. This is why I love y'all. Thank y'all. They like, keep going. I'm like, y'all right, because it be throwing me off. It literally throws me off so bad. Like, all right. Because I got to figure out where I was at with my laugh. You would think that I'm literally standing outside. Okay, technically, I'm in the tiny house outside. But, again, because, I got my own little space. Y'all. So, like I said, in retrospect to the respect thing and seeing little of it, old dynamics will resurface. That's just an unspoken rule. I'm just telling y'all that's just what it's for. Like I said, they're always gonna see you as the kid, as the teen, whatever the case may be. When they were definitely taking care of you, like you may be an adult, but any parent-child relationships, any family roles, whatever the case may be, it's gonna be the same. Like, and it's not gonna be the same in a good way. It is. I don't want to say horrible. I'm gonna just say it could be a lot of healing that needs to happen. So you just have to be prepared for that, because that's definitely why I am giving y'all, just some unspoken rules. Like I said, y'all can, drop some in the comments, whatever. I definitely want to take this out into the city. We're gonna do a whole bunch of different unspoken rules, but like I said, just for this particular topic, we started with, adults that live at home, because that is literally what I'm going through right now. And then, like I said, we will let more open up as God allows us to. So, another unspoken rule in being an adult that's living at home is that you get no personal space. Like I said, your mama's barging in. Everybody needs you to do something because they feel like you do nothing. Especially, if you aren't like doing work outside of the house, because I don't do work outside of the house. Content creation, well, that's not true. Because I'm like, I do have, okay, my businesses and such aren't a 9 to 5, put it like that. Everything that I do is 9 to 5, is not 9 to 5. I don't do anything that's 9 to 5 anymore. So I don't have a regular set schedule like the average individual. No, I really don't. So people find that, a little off-putting too, especially when people feel like, I've had to go to school and, accumulate all these degrees and do several different things. And it's just like my line of work being different but still comparable. I'm about saying funding, especially, when I was working, I'm like, people just look at that like, well, I made it work. You have to make it work too. Like I said, just like even thinking about just like my mom in general, like she had a husband, whether it was my daddy or my stepdaddy. It's like, girl, she's always had a man, and a man that was just like a provider. I don't even have daddies that are providers. Like for me, and that's what I was telling my dad. I was just like, when anyone wonders why my relationships are fucked up, like my own dad literally told me like he does not care about having a relationship with me. Like he said on that live, I don't even want to do this daddy-daughter thing anymore. Like whether or not we talk, I really don't give a like. I don't care, And it's just like even before we started communicating, and the reason we started communicating is like my grandma said, you don't feel any type of way that you don't talk to your daughter, and he was like, no. And it's just like, how can any other man love me and care about me if the man who sack I came out of act like he don't give a like that energy transfers over heavily, and that's why when I be riding his like. I don't think who is fucking with, like, bro, you are just a handful like this rain is. And another unspoken rule, which leads me to my next unspoken rule is you'll feel like you're living in limbo. Like coming back home is not about settling in. It's literally about surviving until you can move back out again. Like I said, I'm realizing now, maybe when I went to college and I went to a different city, I should have just stayed at student housing and made it work. Like, even when I came back to Jacksonville, I had a job offer in Tallahassee, a leasing agent in an apartment complex. I was working there prior, but things got rocky. But I'm a grade A employee, so she called me back and was like, bro. And I was really thinking about it, like, my biological father at the time told me, it was like, you should have never came back. Like, I should have taken that. But since I didn't, I'm always trying to figure it out. And we're going to keep figuring it out. So it's not fun living in limbo. Like, it's really not. Which takes me to my next unspoken rule is that your boundaries will be challenged on a daily basis. Like I said, whether it's your privacy, whether it's your time, whether it's your freedom, you have to constantly, like, remind your parents, like, I'm not, a teenager. I don't have to just go to the store because you've worked a long day of work. Like, raising these parents is exhausting. You trying to find your way as an adult is freaking exhausting. Like, you having to figure out the mental load that your parents did not provide you is exhausting. Mental work is just exhausting as physical work. I'm like, it is laborious, but again, it's still work that has to get done. Another unspoken rule when you're an adult living with your parents is that people will expect you to be super grateful, but won't always show gratitude in return. Like I said, I just cleaned up this whole house, and y'all saw it on this live. It's a mess again. How do you, again, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm blessed, but it's just like a matter of respect. How do you expect me to respect you, but you literally don't show that? You don't have self-respect because you don't clean up after yourself. You don't respect others because you don't clean up what somebody has. You don't clean up after yourself after somebody has just cleaned up. Like I said, I cleaned up that whole living room. I cleaned up that whole table. I'm cleaning up the kitchen, taking out the trash. Like, how hard is it just to clean up after yourself? Like, you don't hear, all you hear is, be thankful you have a place to stay. But it's never, like, homegirl in there laughing on her phone, rubbing her feet together, but the house dirty. It's not, thank you for cleaning this up, thank you for taking this off my plate, because ain't them wifely duties for you to cook and clean and do other things like that? That's the duty as the wife, right? At least that's what I thought. When I'm a wife, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, my kids gonna clean up after themselves, but I'm a damn sure clean up my house. I wish somebody would say I don't clean up my house. I wish somebody would be able to come out their mouth and say I don't clean up my house. Then I realize now the mamas that say that be the mamas that don't clean. That's why we was getting beat up as kids for not cleaning up their house. Listen, I remember times I got water poured on me for not washing the dishes as a kid. Like, really, we'll say it's maybe middle or high school. Maybe middle school was like the first time it happened when I got water poured on me. The second time might have been like high school when it was belt to at that point, because you just feel like I'm tired of telling you to clean up my dishes every night. Well, baby, you're a teacher that does not grade papers. Do y'all know I've been grading papers since freaking middle school? Mom used to come home with stacks as big as 3 Bibles, telling me to grade papers, grade projects, and people be like, well, why won't you just be an educator? You know your parents do it. Baby, I'm traumatized. I am traumatized, baby. I had to do my schoolwork, grade papers, make sure the house was clean. Like, at this point, you should just let me get a job. Telling me, your job is to be a student. It don't seem like, because I'm doing your job. Like, I made my mom's job as a teacher, I won't even say easier, but I will definitely say so much easier. Because if you're a teacher and you know how it is grading them papers, like, all she literally had to do was teach and do the lesson plans, because I wasn't doing no lesson plans or nothing like that. I was a kid. I didn't know how to do that. But again, she never have to grade a project. I'm telling you, would bring me stacks of papers home every week and be like, this need to be done by when I gotta go back to work. Like, what? You signed up to be the teacher, baby? I don't want to have to grade no papers. But it's like, because you live there as a child, you have to pay for, and this is as a child, you have to pay for your way, because they want to lay it low, spread it wide, and pop out a baby. Like, bro. Again, grateful, but y'all be taking it too far. Like, just like I said, I be thinking about the times, like, maybe I didn't have a childhood. Like, kinda, but, like, maybe my childhood was a bit more mature than I actually do realize, and that's why I was always rebelling, because it's like I said, being a kid and knowing that I had to grade papers. Y'all ain't never graded papers before. I don't know. Y'all don't know the horror and PTSD of having to do your work plus somebody else's job and not get your ass kicked for it, because you still got to make sure that your homework is done and that their papers get graded and that you are good all the way around. Like, having to watch my back like that as a child, just saying it out loud, is quite jarring. That's why I said your boundaries will be challenged on the daily. It's unfortunate, so just be ready for it. Just be ready, because another reason, unspoken rule when you live with your parents is that your dreams will be met with skepticism. Like I said, right now, what I do on YouTube is just like, okay, that's cute. Okay, you're getting invited to things. Okay, people are noticing your channel, but it doesn't provide you financial stability. It doesn't do X, Y, Z. And it's just like, one day it could. One day it will. Literally that. But it's just like, I'm in a matter of finding my flow. And I'm literally doing this on my own. Like I said, I'm a one-woman revolution. I'm a one-woman, army. I'm doing this literally on my own. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, everything. Like I said, my parents prepared me for up until 17 when they shipped me off to college. Everything else after that, I've been learning on my own. I have come into my womanhood on my own. I've had to tweak. I've had to refine. I've had to take some time so that I can be the 90 spine diva that I am. Okay? But I'm like, it's worth it. It's worth it. And another unspoken rule, and this might be my last unspoken rule that I'm just thinking of, is you'll feel like you're taking steps back, but actually you're moving forward. Like, you may be in the house physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you are leveling up. Even if it's hard to prove in that moment, you are leveling up. Every moment, everything that's going on in your life, you know that it's taking you from one, area to the next. Like, it is just here for your betterment. Something that I recently had to realize is that, while I may be cleaning floors or anything like that, the real thing that's getting cleaned is my spirit. Every time I have to, go through a situation with my child parental unit at this point, whether it's the mama, the daddies, whatever the case may be, it's just like I am learning and growing. Like I said, we still literally live in a slave master mentality in 2025. So I really can't even knock white people at this point if, racism and all the other kind of stuff still exists, because black parents, whether or not they know it, definitely operate from a slave master standpoint. It's like, what I said it is, do as I say, not as I do. Like, that's not a good leader. That's not a good example. Like, you can't say do as I say and not as I do. Like, what? It don't work like that. Because why wouldn't I do what you do if this what you do? Like, I don't understand that about parents. And that's why I said somebody like me that's been alive for 3 decades, it definitely takes me some time to want to be a parent. Like, I'm going to be, like I said, like Janet Jackson, like Naomi Campbell, like Tyra Banks, that are having babies at 50, because I don't have parents that have the emotional bandwidth, emotional maturity, emotional, emotional stability or anything like that. And like I said, I'm someone that's very emotional. So my biggest thing is like, what if my kid comes out that way that's emotional? If they're not, I mean, that'll be good for me. But I'm like, if they are, like, I have to be prepared to fill those emotional needs, because I have a lot of voids that are not fulfilled. And I'm learning now that my dopamine level is increased when I heal my inner child. Like, literally, just like I be trying to smoke things away, trying to think through, the pain, things like that. But I was outside, and if you watch Disney Channel growing up, if you're a 90s kid and you remember the movie Stepsister from Planet Weird, where she was a bubble. I love Bubbles. If y'all know, my brand is Smile Camera curated by KD. Bubbles is a large part of my brand. I have an obsession with Bubbles, and I always have. I feel like they're very whimsical, very beautiful, just very free, flowy. I love Bubbles. Which made me realize blowing bubbles is such a dopamine rush for me, because I'm healing my inner child. My inner child does not smoke. The smoking is for the adult me. The adult me has to heal the wounded inner child in me. And that inner child just wants to sit down, blow bubbles, have her mother and her father run around in the backyard that she lives in a home with her mother and her father, and life is great. Literally as simple as that. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that. So I am an alchemist, and I try to transmute that energy into my relationships. Like, if that's not what, inner me wounded me as the child God, I'm like, maybe, I can be in a relationship and eventually get that. But I have yet to have that. So this is the limbo. This is the meantime and in between time where I'm taking time to not only learn me, but learn others. Because even yesterday, and the whole blow up that happened on the live with my dad and it was my podcast, but he was, the co-host on it, and we ended up having, a little blow up as he was my co-host. I ended up calling his sister because I knew calling his mom wasn't really going to do anything. Like, my grandma's the reason he's spoiled. She still spoils him to this day. So I needed an unbiased opinion, because she's very biased when it comes to her first child. Like, she loves the man. So I get it. So I called his sister, because she's been there my entire life. She knew him before I did. She's known me my entire life. So I just ran down what happened, and I asked my auntie. But when I first called her, I was just like, do you have 2 minutes? Because I know my auntie does work a 9 to 5. She was like, yeah. As soon as I started talking, I just broke down crying. And my auntie was like, what the like, what is going on? You are in your 30s and you just calling my phone, breaking down, crying. But she had sympathy for me because she was just like, what's going on with my niece? Because my auntie ain't got no kids, and it's like, I am her kid. So she's just like, who messed with my baby? And I'm telling her, and she was like, I don't even know why he said that to you, because what you said is true. It is what it is. And this is what I be telling you about him, how you just have to learn how to deal with him, because the man is different. And I'm going to just leave it at that, because I'm glad that that's the word that God made roll off my tongue. The man is different. Like he said, don't act like I don't know who I got it from. That's why I'm like, oh, trust me, I know who I got it from. I'm going to need you to realize, even though you my daddy, I don't let men play with me. And I realized he put me out like a woman that he's dating. Oh, I ain't got to deal with this. I don't want to do this daddy-daughter stuff. Yes, you do, nigga. You do. This is your obligatory. It's your obligation. That's what I'm trying to say. You obligated. This is an obligation. You do. That's why I said, a man sitting there saying, oh, I don't care about having a relationship with my child. And I've heard it happen more than once. Like I said, I'm not even going to put other people's business out there, but I have heard a daughter relationship where it was just like, girl was just like, you know, she was mad at her dad, and she was just like, well, F you ain't helping me, you know, F this, like, bro, you know, you be around but not around. And he was just like, well, F you too. And it's just like, nigga, what? That's not what you tell your daughter, your only daughter. Nah, you take a step back, like, all right, bro, like, men are so emotionally unavailable to the point where they're stupid. You can't even take a step back and reflect on the fact that you are wrong. You are wrong. And that's one thing, like, that's what I said, just something that I noticed about emotionally immature men. It's just like, you can't even take a step back and reflect, because as a man you feel like you're perfect, as a man you feel like you're flawed, as a man you feel like because you provide monetarily, that's all that matters. Y'all have no emotional bandwidth, which is why y'all are lusty, which is y'all fuck anything from pigs to dogs, because them Claremont twins look terrible. And y'all out there woo-hoo, whistling at them and all this other kind of stuff. They look a mess. Y'all are so caught up in society and demonic demon time, quite literally. And that's another thing. That's why I starts at home, because it's just like the men, the men, okay? That's not what we here for. But y'all know I'm always going on my little tangents and rants, because this is my channel, and that's what I can do. This is the only place my opinion matters, because trust me, in the real world, nobody gives a fuck. Okay? That's just the truth behind the matter. You can't have these conversations with people. You can't sit down and be truthful with people and they understand where you're going. Because like I said, they blow up on you. If you ain't seen it on live, you can still see it. Because I don't care. Like, it's no shame in my game. People always try to tell me that I overshare, but it's like, there's no such thing as oversharing to me, because I have no shame. All of y'all that don't share is because you have some type of shame in it. Anything that I don't share is because it might be about somebody else, and I might be sparing them. It's like, I don't have to tell everybody business, but when it comes to me, I have no shame about my business. And if you are included in my story as something that you did to me, you should have been better. And that's my whole thing. That is my whole thing. If you don't want to look like a prick, whatever the case may be in the story, then you have to be better. Because I realize half the stuff that people have done to me, I've never even thought about doing. Like I said, I stole my boyfriend, and in high school, then when we get to college, she's stealing out my room, stealing from her roommate, took my clothes, wore them, took a picture, made her Facebook picture, and wore the shirt with me. She's like, you know you have class on me. Stole my money, feeding her boyfriend with my money. Bitches have been weird to me my whole life. Trust me. And that's why at this point I'm calling it out, because I'm just like, I realize now, when you are a horrible child, you are a horrible person. Now, one thing about me, I will say, my mouth has always said whatever, and it probably still, because like I said, I am the Joan Rivers around here. I am the Wendy Williams, because what is wrong with y'all? But just like Wendy says, you ain't never been no secret that she did coke. It ain't never been no secret that she drank. My skeletons aren't in the closet. They hang out with me. Y'all be putting y'all skeletons in the closet. I dress mine up, and then they gotta hang out with me. This is my skeleton like it's my shadow. I have no fear about anything. A perfect life, like y'all never struggled, like y'all parents always had money, and somebody that grew up with money, that's how I know y'all be lying. Y'all be scammers, y'all be frauding, y'all live off, what is it, CPNs and all this other kind of stuff that I never even heard of, because I never had to do none of this ghetto stuff. Like, y'all are fake flexers, clout chasers, like coons for cash. And that's why I said, Y'all heard that confirmation? I'm not going for it. It was the coons for cash, huh, God? You don't like that? It's the coons for cash for him, okay? Yeah, just been holding back, and it's definitely time to let it out. But no, she was not my homegirl. Like, she wanted to be my homegirl, I would say, because she ended up stealing my best friend, too, after she did all of that to me. Then my best friend ended up betraying me for her, too. It was just kind of weird. Like, it got to a certain point where I felt like she wanted to be me. Because I realized it was not about anything else. Like I said, I haven't told y'all, but I've said this before any of story time. Like, me and that girl are literally almost on the same playing field. I'm an only child, she's an only child. I'm cute, she cute. Her parents do for her, my parents do for me. So it was like there was no reason to have any jealousy, animosity, anything like this. Mind you, I didn't even know this girl, okay? Like I said, I had my little boyfriend it was my first boyfriend. So yeah, I had my first boyfriend that I was dealing with, and that was his God's friend. So this was the newest friend, and then he kind of started creeping around with her, and then yeah, it just kind of got weird because I didn't even know that I had to deal with her because it was another girl that he was creeping around with that I thought I just had to watch. So I was like, dang, it's another one. And yeah, we ended up getting on three-way call because this is back in like 2009. And that's why I'm like, bro, she on this phone. You want to be with her or me? And he was like, I'm going to be with her. And I was like, okay, cool. But y'all, to this day, he still be calling me. Like, called my mama one time, like, please tell her to get right. Like, this was a couple years ago. Mama was like, why did... Y'all know who my first boyfriend is. Y'all know who my first boyfriend is. But she was just like, why do you call me? And I'm just like, girl, I don't know. And I literally tried to make it work it out with him in my adulthood. It was just like too much had happened. Like, I probably would have gone through with it. No, I would have gone through with it, but something in the cosmos, something in the air of God was just like, God made him just disappear. Like, literally 2 weeks before I was like ready to like literally go all in with our relationship, I haven't spoken to him since. And I just felt like that was God. Because I'm like, now he got 2 kids and all this other kind of stuff anyway. And Lord knows I don't want to be... nobody else ain't married her yet. But this ain't where she want to be. I'm like, I would have assumed the role in that life. But I do want to be with my divine partner. And I'm like, if that's, not going to be anyone that I've been with prior, then, it is what it is. But no, she was not my homegirl. She wanted to be me, essentially, is what I come to realize. But yeah, like I said, that is definitely a story time on my channel that can be checked out. Because like I said, the stuff that I have done to people, or the stuff that people have done to me, I've never done. Like I said, at the most, it's been my mouth. Like I said, just like even with my dad, I was just like, you talking about Nick Cannon in future, baby, you create broken home too. I say stuff like that, and that's why I'm like, baby, it got to be the tism. It got to be the spectrum. I don't have autism, but I'm going to say it's got to be the spectrum. Because like I said, I did the gifted testing, and I know that it is a spectrum. Whether you're mentally gifted or mental retardation, it's just opposite ends of the spectrum. So with me knowing that it's a spectrum, I'm like, it's got to be the spectrum, maybe, because I'm like, why do people get mad when you tell them the truth? You don't take care of your kids. You don't take care of your kids to the point where you have a redo kid because you didn't take care of your kids. So how is what I'm saying wrong? Like, did you want me to say you were deadbeat? Would that have made you feel better? Which is crazy because you were very absent. So instead of me saying I grew up in a broken, because there's only 2 options. With the absent and playing with me, and that's just on God. That's on God. I don't let nobody play with me. I don't care if I came from you. I don't care if I just met you. There's not a single person on this planet that, if you got to get it straightening out with me, that's just so be it. If I got to be the postmaster and set the record straight, I mean, that's just what it has to be. But there's not a single person that I'm not going to be like, especially when it's morally wrong. Because God gonna address me about it. Why you ain't say something to this person when I told you should have said something to this person about what they're doing, how they're... So like I said, whoever it is, what is wrong with that? Yes, I told him in the middle of the podcast, yes, that he created a broken home. And you are the example. What is so wrong with that? I don't understand, because I'm just like, that's everyone's biggest, like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. But that's the case. Like, y'all, I had an absent father. Like, who cares? That man, he a grown man. I'm the child in this situation. Do you not think I've had to deal with this hurt for 30 years? The man was not there. Who cares that I told him that he created a broken home when the camera was rolling? Well, I'm supposed to say when the camera was not, like, who cares because the camera was rolling? That's the fact of the matter. If you a bank robber and we talking about robbing banks, I would say, yeah, you feel that way because you rob banks. If you a scammer, we talking about scammers, and I'm gonna say, yeah, you would feel that way because you a scammer. That's the fact of the matter. Like, I literally don't understand the whole gasping of, you told him that? Yes, because I literally need all men to understand. Money fixes nothing. Money does not replace the time that you did not spend with your kids. Money does not feel the pain. Money does not, no. My father was not a proactive father. That is hurtful. These are things that I have to deal with. These are things that he says that he wants to be a grandparent. You're worried about me being in a relationship and you being a grandparent just so your lineage can continue. Not because you have a good relationship and deserve to be. You're not even a parent, but you think you're finna be a grandparent? There's no way. How can you be a grand of a parent when you're not a parent? And him sitting there gasping like he didn't know that he's created broken. Again, I have 2 other siblings. My mother was the only one that he was married to. Yes, that man has created broken homes. Simple as that. Bottom line. That's what it is. There's no gasping. There's no shock value to it. Like, that's just what it is. Like I said, he's a future. He's a Nick Cannon. Feeling like because I have the money. Because y'all got to remember, my daddy's a rapper too. Well, that's something that I'm just finding out too. Like, had a whole, like, I knew these things like growing up because we always stayed in the studio, but I'm just not finding out the rap deal was like prior to me even being born. I thought that was something that was happening like in the early 90s around the time, I'm growing up. But no, he was a rapper prior to me even being born. So now I'm realizing that's a part of the reason why he was always gone. But at the same time, the man was always gone. And he ain't a rapper where y'all know about him. So, like, you see, it was just gone. Like, yes, he was working, but it was just like, my dad's dad was a crucial part of his absence. I thank God for my papa and his mom, my granny. They definitely, and like I said, I called my auntie the other day when I'm boohoo crying about him, his sister. Because that's who I play a Barbie cash register with. That's who I play Easy Bake Oven with. That's who I like. My dad was like a phone call dad. Mom say, oh, she got something going on. You need to be here. He popping up. But it was just like, my mom and y'all. Another thing, too, that pissed me off about him, and I want to talk about broken homes. My daddy didn't even come to my 30th birthday dinner because his dog could not come. Not because anything was wrong with him, but because his dog could not come into the restaurant. This the same dog that this man would literally cup his hands for so the dog can drink water. But when I needed to go to the hospital, he told me he didn't feel like it was, a big enough, urgent enough reason for him to take me to the hospital. I'm allowed to have issues with this man because mentally something's got to be off with men. And that's why I said, I don't care how much money these men make. They have to come to a consensus that you have to be in that child's life. And now I definitely understand why God is so against divorce. Because there's no reason why, especially for my daddy to sit there and tell me he doesn't feel like he would need to be in a room with my stepdaddy. Like what? How do you feel like you wouldn't need to be in a room with my stepdaddy? You're my daddy. So, like, either one or the other has to be in the room. You can't, what? Like, that is retarded to me. Like, I'm sure retarded people think better than that. That's why I be like, watch who y'all call it retarded. Because they be like, that's just some different things, some other stuff, just something else. Like I said, just thinking about, like I said, you didn't come to my 30th birthday dinner because your dog couldn't come. You didn't take me to the hospital as per request when I've never asked you for a thing on this planet. But you've literally cupped your hands to give this dog water. Didn't care about coming to my birthday dinner because the dog. But his side definitely shows up like they always do. They the ones that told me. My grandma auntie told me, yeah, he not coming because Shine can't come. The dog? Wow. Like he said, he don't care about having a relationship with me. All he care about is, I guess, that dog. Like, he wasn't present. He's still supportive of social media. I mean, that doesn't change the fact that we don't have a relationship now, and we didn't have a relationship for 30 years. That was literally, I mean, he's supportive because that's the side that I get from him. Like I said, if I was in, had my PhD and was in my mom's sorority like she expected and requested, she would be supportive of that. She's just not supportive of this because there is no guarantee of income like a 9 to 5 check is. But yeah, I'm like, either way it goes, that's still not good on her behalf either, because I'm like, whatever your child is doing, you should be supportive of, because had she been supportive of this when I was trying to do this as a child, we would not be here. We could literally be the Kardashians. I'm like, because at this point it's gonna be a docuseries, and I've already named it. Okay, I'm like, because was it really worth the price? Was it really worth the price? So I'm like, we got to get into it. But maybe he just wants to be my friend, huh? Well, I don't think someone that wants to be my friend would say, I don't care about this daddy-daughter relationship. I don't need you for this. I could do this on my own. I don't think no. Because again, even if I didn't like somebody, I would say, I appreciate everything that you taught me, but I don't think this is a relationship that I could have moving forward. It just seems like we are not like-minded individuals to be moving forward together in this way. I don't bash people. Like, that's strange to me. Like I said it on Facebook, but I'm like, it's happened to me pretty much my whole life. I can teach somebody something, especially when it comes to YouTube, marketing, all this other kind of stuff, whatever I do. Like I said, whether it's promotional modeling, I could put people onto something, and as soon as they feel like they got it or they can do it without me, they like to shit on me. And that's why I'm like, you can't outdo the doer, like Nikki said, because one thing I do is do. Like, everybody else be trying, baby, I do. Everybody else be thinking, I be doing. As I said, I'm always going to show up. I'm always going to do something. I got to do something. I got to figure something out. You can't outdo the doer. And I'm a gatekeeper, baby. If you think I taught you everything I know, you're out of your mind. Like, I'm going to give you, some sauce. But you got to put your own seasonings on it. You don't know what kind of seasonings I'm using? Come on. Be so for real about life. Y'all got me feeling like I'm from New York or something, because I'm just saying, y'all got to be so for real about things. Like, yo, you can't outdo the doer. Like, I love when she said that. Talking about just be his friend, because if he passed, hold on, see, that's the thing, because I'm trying to figure out how to be as, baby, you don't know what you're talking about. That's simply, baby. Just because you see us on live riding around, again, I'm trying to build a relationship with a man that I've never had a relationship with. Again, even if he wanted to be my friend, he can't. I'm not friends with niggas that don't take care of their kids. He can't be my friend. Y'all got to be so for real about things. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not friends with niggas like that. Why? I talk about niggas like that. That's why his feelings got hurt. Come on, man. I'm the byproduct of this. Y'all gotta be so for real. You sitting there talking about because I'm riding around with him when I'm getting money. I'm riding around with him because that's a way that I can put money in my pocket every day. Going to work with my father in his business. Y'all act like I'm just there for fun. Because you don't see me riding around with no other man. I'm riding around with him because he's my father. If we weren't born with family, I wouldn't be around anyone. But because I am, I do my best to have relationships with people. But again, somebody that's telling me they don't care about having a relationship with me, I've never said that. Just like he told me, you don't need me. Hold on, boy, I ain't never said I'm a girl. You think I don't need my daddy? Is you out your mind? I need a daddy, a husband, what are you talking about? A son? That's why I'm just like, I never said that out of my mouth. That's all, like, for him, but that's the way he feels. That's why I'm like, if you don't want to be in my life, I'm not going to force you. I haven't forced you in almost 3 years. I'm not gonna force you today. Like I said, this man didn't even come to my 30th birthday dinner. That's why I'm like, again, this is hurtful to me. Just because I'm not out here boohoo crying, and just because, like, I'm pissed off about this. This is hurtful. This man cares about a dog more than his daughter, and I'm his only daughter, and y'all expect me to be like, but he wants to be your friend. How? That be making me think y'all a little slow too. Cause, like, I don't be want to tweak on y'all, but it's just like, Come on. I'm gonna need y'all to be so for real about things. Read the room. Read the room. Like, I'm either gonna be in a good mood or I'm gonna be crying. And in between is watch your mouth when you're talking to me. Cause I'm just like, read the fucking room. But yeah, I'm like, that's pretty much, what I gotta say. Cause I'm like, we went on a tangent more than I expected to. But that is, yeah, pretty much my little rundown. And yeah, that's just, just know, just pray that you don't lose yourself. That is the moral of the story. Pray that you don't lose yourself in the process of becoming yourself. In the process of becoming yourself. No matter what the situation is, no matter where you may be in life, like, God is always in the business of working miracles. I know that I have my heart for. I love entertainment. I love community. I love being expressive. Like, I don't like that the world is so, like, I don't even know if stoic is the right word, but definitely just like, very boxed in and, no personality, very cookie cutter, very bland. I mean, no seasoning. Like I said, bitch, I got sauce and flavor. Like, come on, that's why I'm like, child, I really should apply for Streamer U. I'm really beating myself about not doing that because, again, where was my Hogwarts invitation? I love this. This is literally what I do. What I do. So that's why I'm like, we getting back to it. Hopefully I can get a social experience out of this tomorrow. We can, I'm like, more than likely I'm like at the town center. Y'all know if y'all are local. I'm thinking you're like the town center. I'm thinking of like populated places where it's okay to like hang out without it being like a loitering, type deal or anything like that. And I feel like, Town Center is really our only mall that we have left because I'm definitely not going to Orange Park. Regency shut down. Avenues might be good because I'm like, that's further than the Town Center, I think. But I know the Town Center, will have some foot traffic. But I definitely want to I probably should do the Avenues so that way I can get a good mix of people, different ages. So I'm thinking, yeah, we can try this at the Avenues because, yeah, I'm not going to be like, who is the MMG Florida, whatever it is, they be doing the little hot chips in the hood. I'm not doing that. Like I said, we're not cooning for cash. I can't get down like that. It's just not happening. Like, again, my life really a movie. I ain't talking CGI. I ain't gotta fake my life because it's always so much real life drama that happens. It's like, come on, what I look like faking? Come on. And people always in my business want to know my life anyway. So it's just like I be telling y'all, because half the time, not even half the time, majority of the time, they be wrong, loud and wrong. People be talking about what goes on in my house. Ain't never even been in my house. Don't even know where my house at. That be y'all. That be y'all. Do I be telling y'all what be going on in your house? No, I'm not there. Like what? I listen and child speak accordingly. Because I'm like, y'all gotta understand now. Hold on. You're not really privy, like you only know what I'm telling you, and that's why I'm like, you can make as best as form a decision as possible. But like I said, we definitely don't support niggas not taking care of their kids, regardless. We don't date niggas that don't take care of their kids. We don't hang out with niggas that don't take care of their kids. We don't follow niggas that don't take care of their kids. Are y'all crazy? Rule one: we don't even date niggas with kids, boy, because we know niggas don't take care of their kids. Like, y'all crazy. Come on, co-host. But y'all know it's all love, baby. Thank y'all for loving me because I definitely love y'all. And I definitely want y'all to know that if y'all don't know this, God loves y'all. Jesus loves y'all. And y'all know I love y'all if y'all love them. Just be a good steward of God's word, y'all. That's really it. I'm like, y'all can check out my live from earlier because we've already said our Bible verse of the day. We've already done our Course in Miracles. That good stuff is always in the description. I'm going to try to get better at doing the end screens and the cards and all that good stuff because at this point, I really got to get in my content bag. Like, I don't even like being called a content creator or anything like that because that really overwhelms me. And I'm just going to be honest about it. Like I said, this is something that I've always been doing. I've always been live. I've always, liked videos. I've always loved YouTube. That's why I'm like, child, I'm 30 and YouTube is, child, 20. Like, I'm literally one of the pioneer users of YouTube. Like, I remember watching people getting their belly buttons pierced when, like, YouTube was, like, gray and just old looking. It was, like, gray, blue, and white. That's literally, just very standard. I don't even know. I think the sign, the logo was always red. But either way it goes, I'm like, this is what I love. This is what I do. And that's why I'm like, I'm just going to just continue living my life. And at this point, like I said, it's just the matter of elevating the brands, having productions, and bringing y'all quality contents because we've already done the quantity. Thank y'all for tuning into the quantity and being here. So I can't thank y'all enough because trust me, without y'all, we literally wouldn't be anywhere. That's why I'm like, y'all, it's because y'all definitely be tuning in, tapped in. Now we get invited to, YouTube community partners and big collective events and, all the good stuff that comes our way is because not only do we show up, but because y'all are receptive to me showing up. And again, I do appreciate each and every one of y'all on a daily basis because, I used to keep a lot of these thoughts in my head and that weighed me down and it got me nowhere. But definitely releasing these thoughts definitely helps me move forward. Because like I said, a lot of these unspoken rules are damaging. And that's one thing that I am realizing is that, what was the quote? When you suffer, it's not suffering in silence. Because that's definitely not what it was. I'm so mad that I can't think of the quote what it was, but it was just like if you were not speaking up about stuff, it's basically silent approval is essentially what the quote was saying. Yeah, not speaking up about stuff is silent approval. I don't even know what another way to say it, child. The words not even coming out of my mouth because somebody is trying to. I ain't gonna say somebody, child. We're not even gonna worry about it because spiritually we are we are tapped in. They almost try to get me to say tapped out. I'm glad God said, "Watch your tongue, hold it." They want me to stop doing this, but I won't. I won't. It's not even that I can't. It's that I will not. I don't want to. Why? Why should I have to? Because you don't want to. Because you want to, but don't want, but won't. Ooh, that's between you, boo. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So